section that we're about to go do is only Rock am Ring and Rock am Park in Germany, but I know that we're going to go back and hit a bunch of European dates. The answer, someone asked if I'd heard any of the new songs, and the answer is no. Unfortunately, I haven't heard any of the new songs. I'm really looking forward to it. When we start rehearsals in a couple of weeks, I'm sure that I'll be hearing some of the new songs as we rehearse them for the upcoming little tour. I think the plan as it stands is that we're going to rehearse for this little European leg, and then when we get back from that, we're going to really do some major rehearsals that will incorporate a bunch of the new songs. And so starting basically in August, I think they're going to totally rearrange their set and do, mostly new songs along with all the hits that you like. So, yeah, looking forward to that. The DSPs will continue on this going around. I will be mixing those. And so, yeah, I mean, we try to release as much as we can. The only time we can't release DSP stuff is when there's some sort of license problem that happens wherever we are. So, yeah, me and my partner, Dylan Eli, will be doing that. There's a question in there. Someone asked, how did I meet LP? That's funny. Generally as a front of house engineer, you get hired by management companies. And what I did was I was mixing Limp Bizkit long ago. And it was Metallica, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Mudvayne, and Deftones on a stadium tour. And I was mixing Limp Bizkit, and Linkin Park was on that tour. The guys had heard me mix Limp Bizkit, and when they were looking for a new front of house engineer, the management had remembered that they'd heard me mix Limp Bizkit. They liked what they heard and hired me for the gig, along with the band, the Linkin Park guys, Mike Shinoda and Chester and all those guys had heard me mix Limp Bizkit, and that's kind of how I got the gig. So that's that. There was a question if there's going to be another blog at Pooch's Corner, and the answer is yes. About every 2 months, I try to release a new blog at waveslive.com. And it's a little bit, it's ramblings of in a sound kind of nature. So, some of it is a little bit technical, but it's kind of cool because I talk a lot about the Linkin Park sound when I do that. Let's see. Did you work with Van Halen? That's a great question. Yes, I did work with Van Halen. I did the first rehearsals for them and got them started on this tour that they're doing right now. But as we were doing rehearsals, I heard that Linkin Park was going to start early this year, which in April, obviously. We're starting rehearsals, and then in May we're going to have shows. And so I had to make a decision, and I, of course, decided to go back to Linkin Park because those guys are awesome, and I love working for them. Van Halen was a lot of fun, and it was cool, and all of that stuff, but, Linkin Park are my true boys. Those are my guys, and I love working with them, so that's why I went back. Let's see. So obviously some people are joining here and they're just seeing that, I haven't heard any of the new songs on the new record, so unfortunately I can't answer you any questions about it. So I don't know either. I'm as excited as you guys are to hear what's going on. Do you have any family? That's a great question. Yes, I have a wife and a dog. No kids. But I have how many? I have a lot of nephews and nieces. They're all teenage years, and so a large kind of extended family, but none of my own kids. What kind of dog? I have a boxer, and her name is Penny, and she's awesome. In fact, let me see if I can call her. Hold on. Hey, Penny! Come here. Penny! Penny Pooh! Come on. She's probably sleeping. That's all my dog does is sleep. Anyway. Do you play an instrument? Yes, I do play an instrument. I studied music at Berklee College of Music in Boston. And I studied bass guitar there. So, yeah, I do play an instrument. So me and Phoenix get along real well because we're both bass players. Here's a question. What's my favorite Waves plugin? That's a really good question. Well, I think C6 is my favorite Waves plugin. For those of you that don't know, Waves is it's an electronic computer device that we use to incorporate sound and that kind of stuff into it. So plugins are an important part of the Linkin Park sound, and it's what we use. And so Waves is a company that I use and I actually work for, and I use the C6 Waves plugin all the time. Interesting question. What's the hardest song to mix live with Linkin Park? Hardest song. Some of the songs on the last record, 1,000 Suns, were pretty difficult. They had a lot of shifts in them. Going from verses to choruses and stuff, there was a lot of things going on. So like Blackout was kind of difficult. It had a lot of, distorted vocal and a lot of effects and, that kind of stuff. So that, I would say that song, or at least some of the songs from 1,000 Suns, were difficult. What song do you like to mix? That's a great question too. My favorite song is, there's so many. I tend to really love, I loved 1,000 Suns, and it was a great record, and I have the record in my car, and as I drive down the road, I play it all the time just for listening for fun, not even listening for work or any of that, just because I think the record is great. But there's something about songs from Hybrid Theory and Meteora, those songs are just really slamming and great songs. Paper Cut, it's one of my favorite songs. I like all their songs. There's certain songs on each record that are just really, really highlights. The Minutes to Midnight stuff. There's great songs on there too. Yeah. What else? Let's see. Actually, I have mixed. That's a great question. Have you mixed Robot Boy? And they played it for rehearsals, but never played it live. So I have had the chance to kind of mix that, and we spent a little bit of time in rehearsals with it, but they've never played it live. We do that a lot, actually. They'll play songs off of records that they normally don't play live, just to have them kind of in their back pocket in case they want to insert them in a set list. It's cool. They need to play it live. Yeah, they do. Here's somebody, Chester is the best funny guy in the world. Yes, he is. Chester is really awesome. I love all those guys in LP, but I have a special connection to Chester because of the Dead by Sunrise stuff. I did Dead by Sunrise, and I mixed it, and I was the production manager and the tour manager. So Chester and I got really close on that, and he and I are good friends. Funny dude and an amazing talent. So cool. Let's see. Why must LP wear earphones during the show? That's a great sound question. I like that. So Brad, obviously his signature is wearing those headphones. And And basically what he's doing is protecting his hearing. He's worn those ever since the beginning. And he has very, very sensitive ears. He's an amazing talent. And part of the reason that that he has a lot to say in their records, him and Mike Shinoda, is that Brad just has really monster ears. He's incredible. Like he'll come in the room during rehearsals when I am mixing things, and he'll hear things that I would have thought that nobody would have heard. He'll hear a little part and he'll say, "Oh no, we need to turn that little part down." And I'm like, "Wow, that dude's got some great ears." So that's why he wears those. The rest of the guys wear a thing called in-ears, and in-ears are basically headphones, kind of, but they go inside your ear canal, and they're custom molded to your ears. And when you plug them in, they allow a monitor mixer, who's Kevin Tater McCarthy. That's the monitor guy. His name's Tater. Been there as long as I have. He's been there for 6 years. They put those things in their ears, and the monitor guy, the mixer Tater McCarthy, is mixing for them for what they need to hear. So, for instance, when you guys hear the sound out in the audience, I'm mixing it and trying to make it sound like the record, and trying to make it sound, have impact and, all those kind of things, and make it sound like you guys know how it sounds. But in their in-ears and their headphones, it's a different mix. It's whatever they need to hear to play the song. So guitars might be louder, or the drums might be louder. If in Rob's in-ears, the drums are louder, and maybe the rest of the instruments are a little bit lower so that he can hear things. In Chester's mix, his vocals will be very loud compared to other things, that, for example. So that's what that's going on. Let's see. Oh, that's an interesting question. So everybody always asks about the difference in sound of DSPs and why they sound different from the beginning till now. And we get into the whole discussion of, do they sound better now? Do they sound better before? Everyone has their own opinion about how they sound. Basically, every DSP is a new experience for me, mainly because, yes, we are even using the same instruments, we're using the same microphones, but the environment of where we play is different wherever we play. We incorporate a lot of the live sound, so the sound of the audience and all that stuff is loud in the DSP, and that changes the overall timbre of how the DSP sounds. That's why each DSP is kind of unique and has its own tone to it and its own sound. And for good or for bad, there are some DSPs that I think sound better than others, but it's an accurate representation of what it was like there that day. So in my opinion, all DSPs shouldn't sound the same. They shouldn't be exactly the same. They should have different characteristics to them. And it's also based upon like how I was feeling that day. Like sometimes I feel like, oh, the guitars need to be louder, or they need to be less, or a different sound, or whatever. So, and I think, like I said, I think it's kind of what makes these particular DSPs cool is that they aren't, the same. Yeah, that's why. Let's see. What's my favorite live performance? Wow, that's a great question. Man. Wow. That's a hard question, too. There were a couple of times in China where we played huge sorry, I'm losing my mind. Large soccer stadiums, and there were 80,000 people. That's, to me, the bigger the show, the cooler it is for me, because the vibe of having that many people screaming for Linkin Park is pretty cool. So I really like stadium kind of shows. Here's a great question. Has watching LP made it boring? because I've seen so many shows in 6 years. I haven't counted how many shows I've done, but I'm sure some of you know exactly how many shows are on DSPs. I don't know. It's a lot. No, the answer is no. It's different for me every time, and it's challenging in the way that the room sounds, how I can make it sound good in that particular room, and it's challenging in how they play. You know, sometimes they play things differently. So the answer is no. I don't get bored of the stuff. It's different every time. Someone just asked, what is a DSP? So a DSP is called a digital souvenir package. That's the short of it. And basically it's the ability for you guys to go download any of the shows that we go do. So I mix all the shows. I think that there's like photos and stuff in there. I haven't actually ever, this is funny, I haven't actually ever downloaded a DSP from the DSP site. I'm always the one to upload it, upload the audio. So yeah. Interesting. Have you ever worked with Avenged Sevenfold? That I have never mixed Avenged Sevenfold. I've been on a tour that they were obviously opening up for us, but I never mixed them. Well, that's a great question too. What does Brad use to change guitar tones? Great question. You'd really have to ask his guitar tech, but I can give you kind of an overall brief. He has these Randall preamps made by a company called Randall that basically kind of change the tone. You can have any kind of guitar tone from a distorted sound to a clean tone sound to any of that kind of stuff because of these preamps. And the guitar tech, Sean Payton, who's Brad's guitar tech, does switching for Brad. So as Brad is running around the stage, he doesn't have to worry about changing the guitar tone. The guitar tech is actually changing those patches. So that's cool. This is funny. Can you show us your room? That's hilarious. You want to see my room? Okay, well, here it is. Dun, dun, dun. There's some records of stuff. Let's see here. You can see there's a Kiss plaque of Kiss stuff that I did. Some Kid Rock behind my head there. That's another Kid Rock record I did. Everclear. Let's spin around here and show you some other stuff. Tony record. Then on the wall you've got Linkin Park stuff and Kiss stuff and Slash and photos of friends, another Slash record. So yeah, that's my office. It's all my records and stuff that I've done. Let's see. I just saw one fly by. I didn't get all of it, but they were saying that in Argentina the sound was so low. That's a great question. There are places on, places in the planet, places in different countries that have sound levels that we cannot go by. It's actually it's actually dictated by the police. They come in and they measure and they say, no, you can't. It can be no louder than this. The law states that it can only be 100 dBA weighted, et cetera, which probably doesn't mean anything to you, but it means a low-sounding rock show. And that's because the people that live there have, rallied their local politicians to write a law that basically states when you're outdoors, it can be only this loud. So unfortunately, we have to play by those rules. So there are some places, and even some places in the U.S. When we play sheds, where everything is low volume. I don't like it too much, but it certainly makes my day more challenging. But I understand why it's there, and it's just something that I have to deal with. Bigger challenge, open air or inside venues? Inside is always harder. And the reason that inside is always harder is because usually we're in a sports arena, and a sports arena was never designed to really have music in it. It's designed to actually get louder when you put more energy in it. So, for instance, at a basketball game, when everyone's screaming for their favorite team, they actually design the room to get louder when people are screaming. So 15,000 people are going, ah! They want the room to really reverberate and get loud. Well, that is the worst case scenario for us as music mixers. It's horrible. So there's a lot of things that we can do to make a particular room sound good, but most of the time, if you're in a bad sounding room, it's just bad. And there's not, there are probably 10 places in the world that I go to, and it's just not possible to make that room sound very good. So unfortunately, that's what's up. So some arenas are better than others for sure. Outdoors, you don't have all the reverberation of the room. You don't have to deal with any of that. It's all open air, so it's it's really a truer sense of what's coming out of the speakers for sure. Is Israel cool? Wow, that's a great question. I love Israel. We went there last year, I guess. Had a great time. I actually had a day off there, and I got to go to Jerusalem and see some great sights. It's an amazing country, beautiful country, and really, really happy that I got to go see it. Favorite bass guitar? I love it. My favorite bass guitar is older stuff. So, like, if I had a 62 Fender Jazz Precision bass, I would be stoked to have that bass. So older made basses are my favorite. What could you say about Russia and Russian fans? Awesome. There's nothing that I can say bad about them. They are off the hook. The few times that we've been there, it has been off the hook. Kids just having a great time. We keep going back to Russia because as the doors have opened into that country, and so many bands are playing there. LP keeps going back, and part of that is because the fans are so good. Let's see, what else? You love beer and bacon. Who doesn't love beer and bacon? Come on. I have mixed a gig in Czech Republic. I can't remember if I've mixed a Linkin Park show in Czech Republic. I've done a lot of other shows there. Love that too. The perfect band. Wow. That's an interesting question. There's a lot. What is the perfect band? I don't know. Every band that I've worked for has had their own kind of twist on how they're cool. Recently, I've been the past few years I've been working for Slash and Miles Kennedy. Those two guys are some of the best players, and they are amazing people, and all of those kind of things. But again, I would have to say that my heart truly lies with the Linkin Park guys. Those guys just are so respectful and nice and treat me well. And when they treat me like that, I keep coming back. I keep turning down gigs, and saying, nope, I'm going back to Linkin Park. And so, yeah, you guys are fans of a really great band. Let's see, I saw something fly by there. See if I can get back to it. Can't make it happen. Let's see here. How close am I to the band? You know, I'm pretty close. It's not like I'm going to their house and hanging out with them. We're not that close. But when we talk about, you know, their music and making their music sound good for their fans live and all of those kind of things, we're pretty close. I spend a bunch of time in the dressing room having discussions about, you know, sound. So other than that, you know, that's where we're at. What was my first concert that I ever went to? Oh my God, you guys are gonna date me here. The first concert that I ever went to was the Beach Boys. Do you guys know who the Beach Boys is? Oh God, I can't believe I'm saying that. Yeah, I was a kid and I went and saw the Beach Boys in Sacramento. I think my parents took me to it, so I was probably like 11 or 12. But the concert that really kind of changed my life was Van Halen. In 1984, I went and saw Van Halen when I was a teenager, and it made me say, that's what I want to do. I want to, you know, mix rock and roll bands. So that's where that was. What was your first job? That's a great question, too. My very first job was working at a Boy Scout camp. I worked as a bunch of different jobs there, but I was their medic, and I was also a truck driver, and I was also a guy that worked in the kitchen. And I worked there for 10 summers at a summer camp in Northern California called Wolfboro. So, yeah, it's funny, someone asked about the medic thing. It was a close second to where I was going to be, whether I was going to work in music or whether I was going to be a doctor. My parents, of course, wanted me to be a doctor. But yeah, I went towards the music side. Let's see. Jeez, this stuff is just flying in. It's hard to catch it all. Have I made any mistakes while on tour? That's an awesome question. Of course, we all make mistakes. Come on. I think when was it? When digital consoles first came out, there's a function on digital consoles. It's a computer. And there are some things that you do in the computer that will actually stop the audio. So, for instance, you push a certain button, and it'll take 15 seconds to load up a plugin and actually mute the audio for 15 seconds if you load that up. So there are two kinds of modes. There's a show mode, and then there's like a loading mode. And when I first used digital consoles, I didn't know that there were two modes, and I loaded up a plugin in the middle of a show, and it muted the sound for 15 seconds, which doesn't sound like a long time, but 15 seconds of people turning around and looking at you, it seems like an eternity. It was awful. Not good. Question, new live CD coming out anytime soon? I don't know. You know, they spend a bunch of time, you know, strategizing about releasing stuff. I know that there's tons of material that they could make a live CD with, but right now I think they're really focused on their new record for sure. What college did you go to? I said that earlier. I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston. What do you do with your free time? You have some special hobbies. I don't have any free time. No, that's not true. My wife and I actually like to travel, and we, along with my brother and my nephew and my mom, we go on cruises actually. And the last cruise we went to Italy and Spain and Istanbul and a bunch of that stuff. So yeah, actually my free time is actually traveling, which I already travel for a living, which is stupid, but my family wants to travel, so that's good. question, do you help with LPU albums or LP albums? The answer is no, I don't. Any of the stuff that you guys hear, the record that isn't live material, stuff like the new record coming out or Minutes to Midnight or Thousand Suns, I had nothing to do with. I don't do any of the recording of the stuff. There's a guy named Ethan Mates, and he is the recording engineer, and he does what I do live. He does that in the studio. He and I are good friends, and we talk all the time, but that's his gig. What's my favorite band? Wow, that's hard to say. What I listen to a lot, I listen to a lot of different kinds of music, anywhere from classical to hard rock. Some of my bands that I listen to are like, if I'm just working, I'll listen to like Spotify or XM radio and just kind of let it play. But like XM radio, if I'm driving down the road, I'll listen to like I forget what the thing, it's Ozzy Osbourne's Hair Nation or something like that. It's got all metal songs in it. So that goes. How old are you? That's a great question. I'm 42. Do you like Justin Bieber? No. That's funny. You talked about concerts in Asia. Will there be one in Japan? I'm absolutely sure that on this record cycle, sometime in late 2012 or the beginning of 2013, we will play Japan. I guarantee it. Canada as well. We don't miss all that stuff. What music do you hate besides Justin Bieber? That's awesome. Except for this is funny because I actually really like Jay-Z and that kind of stuff. I'm not a super big rap fan. I worked with a lot of rap artists like in the early 90s, like Ice Cube and some other ones of that, and I'm not a super big rap fan. Yeah, I do like Billy Talent, actually. That's funny. I do like Billy Talent. And Watch the Throne. They're cool. Let's see. Summit in Australia. That's a great question. I hope that we do one. I know that there are some summits coming up that they're scheduling, and I don't know what they've released. So I don't know. I don't know actually what dates they're going to be, but I know they are still planning to do summits and still incorporate that into the live thing. That would be awesome if we had one in Australia. Pooch, drink beer with us at Pink Pop. Well, actually, I don't drink alcohol, so I can't have a beer, but I'll come have a root beer with you. How many cues do you need for one regular LP song? What that person is talking about is cues within in a console. Stuff that changes effects and changes the sound of things. Generally, I only do a cue per song unless there's a major change in the middle of it, and then maybe there'll be 2 or 3. I think the most I've ever done per song is 3. The rest I do manually. Is there any chance to meet you at a concert? Yeah, absolutely. Come by any Linkin Park concert and come to where the front of house is. Now, the front of house is the big section in the middle there where there's all kinds of electronic equipment. It's usually towards either the back of the room in an arena or in an outdoor thing. It's a big tower kind of thing. Come by there and just ask for Pooch, and I'll talk to you for any time. I love talking to fans. It's fun. Come say hi. Don't be shy. I just saw someone that was too shy to say something. Come by, say hi. I mean, I'll talk to you for a minute. If I have time, I'll say hi. What is the funniest thing that happened to you with Linkin Park? Funniest thing. That's a hard question. I I don't know. The coolest thing one of the coolest things that ever happened to me in Linkin Park is in Australia a few years ago. They sang "Happy Birthday" to me, like the whole crowd sang "Happy Birthday." That was really awesome. So I love that. Can't think about the funniest thing though. There's somebody that was at that show. Cool. That's fun. System of a Down. Love that band. Also, great guys to work for. Serge is awesome. Darren's awesome. All the guys in that band are very cool. In fact, last year when they played in Europe at Rock am Ring and Rock am Park, I was supposed to go do those shows with them and mix them, but I couldn't because I was with Linkin Park. So yeah, I was bummed that I didn't get to go do that. They were awesome. Let's see. Do you like Korn? What about metal? I've done a few tours around Korn. Like I did a Limp Bizkit in Korn tour. And I mixed a Saturday Night Live that Korn did a bunch of years ago. And Jonathan was really, really cool to me. All those guys in that band are cool. I didn't really get to know them very well, but they were cool. And I'm not a super big Korn music fan. I don't like their music all that much. There's a few songs that I like, but the guys were really cool to work with. Do you like 80s hair metal? Yeah, of course I like 80s hair metal. That's where I came from. I mixed the first part of my career was mixing bands like Firehouse and Slaughter and Warrant and Motley Crue and Vince Neil and all those 80s rock metal bands. That's where I came from. Oh man, that would be awesome if Linkin Park and System of a Down could play together. That would be really, really cool. I don't know that that's going to happen, but I think it's going to be cool. I do know that later on this year they're doing a tour in the U.S. That's going to have some great bands on it, and I can't tell you who they are, but it's going to be fantastic. Let's see. 30 Seconds to Mars. Do I like that band? Not really, I gotta say. Sorry, if you like 30 Seconds to Mars, don't mean to piss you off, but yeah, they're not a super great band in my opinion. But hey, whatever. Do you like Muse? Of course I like Muse. What do I think about the flash mob in Moscow? What's that about? I don't even know anything about that. There was a flash mob that was a Linkin Park flash mob? That's awesome. What else? Which hip-hop band did you mix, or at least the most famous? I mixed a Tony record, which is not really hip hop, that's R&B, that went platinum, and I worked on a bunch of Ice Cube records back in the day. So that's kind of what I did. Let's see. Can I show my tattoos? You guys are hilarious, man. That's awesome. All right. So, I don't know if you can see it. You can't see that. A lot of biomechanical stuff. A lot of, skulls. Whatever. It's all tattoo work. The guy that does my tattoo work is a guy named Tom Donovan. He's in Biloxi, Mississippi, and he's awesome. How many tats do you have? I have 2 full sleeves of tats that are basically one piece. I have a bunch of pieces on my back and a couple on my legs. So, yeah. Do you color your hairs? That's awesome. No, I don't color my hair. What was my first tattoo? My first tattoo was on my back, and it's a picture of basically a monster coming out of my back. And someone says that their first tattoo was a bunny. Now that's funny. I don't have any bunnies on me. Perfect lineup with 4 bands. Oh, man. Wow. Let's see. God, that's a hard question. Well, I mean, if I'm talking about bands that I've worked for, boy, Limp Bizkit, System of a Down, and Linkin Park on the same bill would be pretty amazing. Foo Fighters would probably be in there too. Yeah, I like the Foo Fighters a lot. What is my full name? My full name is Ken Van Druten. It's a Dutch name. My great-grandfather came from Holland and came to America. Not Belgian, Dutch. Pooch, the name Pooch. Oh, yeah, Chemical Romance. My Chemical Romance. Actually, I really like that band. That would be a great lineup in there, too. But Pooch came from Motley Crue. Basically, Vince Neil started calling me Big Dog, and somehow it evolved into Pooch. So they started calling me Pooch, and then I went and did a Whitney Houston tour, and they just wouldn't let it go. Pooch, I was Pooch from then on, and so that's where that comes from. Pretty sure there's going to be a UK tour. Do you like Stained? Yeah, take them or leave them. Do you sometimes get sick of LP songs and make suggestions for new ones? The answer is no. The band totally decides what songs they want to do. I have no part of that. I don't ever have any, they don't ever come to me and say, what song should we play? No, that's all the band. Did I mix live in Texas? No, I did not mix live in Texas. That was before my time. That was actually the same tour where I was mixing Limp Bizkit when it was Metallica and Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park and all that kind of stuff. If they play something spontaneously, is it hard to mix? Yeah, if they pull something out of their hat and play something different, and it's not what I'm expecting, it's kind of throws a weird, wrench in the works. So sometimes I have to account for that. Did I mix Milton Keynes? Yes, I did mix Milton Keynes. So someone else mixed live in Texas. I mixed Milton Keynes. Do they ever play something different in practice? And the answer is yes. There are songs sometimes that they play in rehearsals that you guys never get to see, which is pretty cool. And I'm not really sure why they don't play them live, but they play them in rehearsals because they like to play them in rehearsals. So, yeah. How different was it working for Big Bang in Korea? Really different. I've never really done. If you guys don't know who Big Bang is, you should check them out. They're really cool. They're a pop band, and from Korea, and it's 5 guys, and they are really great guys too. They sing. It's more a lot more popish than Linkin Park. So I wouldn't, if you're a super Linkin Park fan, you might not like Big Bang, or you might, Big Bang is cool. So I had a great time in Korea. I was in Korea for 6 weeks just a couple of months ago, and that was great. They are moving on to do a Japanese tour soon. Big Bang, I'm talking about, is moving on to do a Japanese tour soon. So I wish them well because I'll be with Linkin Park. Will LP come to India? Great question. I think that they will. I don't know that for a fact, and I really don't have anything to do with the routing. Nobody asked me where they should go. But I think it's a place that we haven't been to, and I think there's a lot of LP fans in India, and I think we should go hit it. So we'll see. What do I do before a concert at Linkin Park? Well, I set up all day. We work all day. Really, as crew guys, we are working from 8 a.m. and then after the show, we work for another 4 hours. So our days are 16-hour days. So if anybody tells you that doing what we do is easy, they're full of poop because it's a pretty hard gig. We work a lot. What else we got here? Do we have a database of recordings and videos and all that kind of stuff? The answer is no. Somewhere is copies of all of the stuff. They have a vault somewhere that has all of the stuff that they've ever done. And I'm sure that someone has inventoried that, but I have no idea. So don't know anything about that. What does the crew eat before shows? That's hilarious. Food. We eat food. We eat after shows. We eat a lot of pizza. People order pizza a lot. But before shows, we have catering. So we, what you guys eat? Chicken and vegetables and that kind of thing. How much time before the show do you get a finalized set list? There are some times that I don't get a finalized set list until 5 minutes before the show. That's usually early on in the tour. As the tour goes on, they will usually have 3 or 4 set lists that are rotating, and those will pretty much stay the same. But early on in the set list, they will experiment with how certain songs go well together, so sometimes we don't get a set list until right before the show. Linkin Park best live performance ever that I've seen. There's been a bunch of great performances. I actually thought that Milton Keynes they played really well on. I think that live DVD is really awesome. Is Rammstein too weird for you? No, not at all. I love Rammstein. I think they're great. Do you like LP's version of Rolling in the Deep? I do. I like that one version that we did at the iTunes Festival. I think they released it on iTunes. I thought that was really, really great. Let's see. What do I think about Adele? I'd take her or leave her. There's a lot of people that think Adele is the best singer on this planet, and that's not one of me. So, how about Penny? You want to see my dog, don't you? I love my dog. Hold on, let me get her. Penny! Come on! Come on! Penny! Jeez, she doesn't want to come in here. I guess we're going to have to go get her. Hold on. She's being a pain in the butt. Oh, I see. She's sitting in her chair. Say hi, Penny. What are you doing? What are you doing? See if I can get it. It's hard for me to get it close. What are you doing, Penny? She's curled up in her chair. That's what she's doing. Anyway, that's Penny. Okay, now we're back at my office. Sorry about the vomit can there. How How many songs do you mix per show? It's the same amount of songs that you see on DSP. So it's 90 minutes of songs, whatever that is. Usually 15 or 16 songs, I think. Someone keeps asking about the some guitars sound muffled than others or whatever. Like I said in the beginning, if you were here in the beginning, every DSP has its own sound characteristic. And we try to make it sound the best that we can in the places that we are. Some people think it's good, some people don't like it. I mean, I'm not here to please everybody. If there's some people that don't like how some things sound, sorry. That's it's my job to make them sound good, and I happen to think that I do the best that I can to make them sound good. Can you show us our wife? My wife is not here right now. Otherwise, I would. Why the Red Square show wasn't released on DVD? That's a really good question. I have no idea. That was a great, great show. Maybe they're going to do it later. I don't know. You're cheating on my wife with us. Yes, I am. I haven't told her that I'm here, and you don't tell them either. Will you make more LPU chats in the future? Of course I will. I like talking to you guys. Does LP like France? I don't know if LP likes France. I love France. I got engaged in France, in Paris. My wife speaks fluent French, and we love it there. Could you release a tour rider with lights and sound system and so on? The answer to that is no. That there's some information on there that it's just not important for people to know, and it goes to promoters and people that are putting on the LP show. All it really is just a bunch of technical information. Yeah. Do I stay in touch with Rob? When they are working on a record and we're not doing live stuff, I don't stay in touch with them very often. They will send me a nice, message for Christmas or whatever. Sometimes I go back and forth with Mike Shinoda on Twitter or in email messages. But yeah, I don't really talk to them too much. What songs do I want them to add to their set? Man, this is so hard because everybody has their own opinion about what songs they want LP to play. Jeez, I don't know. I don't know. There's a bunch of songs that I like that I would love to see them do. Do you like Rob? Yes, of course I like Rob. He's a good guy. Whose pick is behind you? Oh, that's my wife. That's funny. Someone saw my wife. Let's see if I can get it going there. It's hard to see, but shoot. Anyway, that's my wife. There she is. That's funny. I think I answered this before, but I'll answer it again. I love touring with Slash and Miles Kennedy. Slash is the nicest person on the planet. He's great. Love him. When is my birthday? Well, go find the Australian show, and then you'll know. God. Let's see. Man, some of you are really funny, the stuff that you're saying. Have you ever seen Chester hungry? What kind of a question is that? That's funny. I have no idea what this person keeps saying about Mike trolling. I have no idea what that is. What ringtone is on your phone? You busted me. It is Bieber. What musical instrument do I love the most? I love guitars. Guitars are my favorite instrument. And yes, I want to come back to Israel. I love it there. Why does Chester wear glasses again? I have no idea. I guess he can't see like me. So I can't see you. I have to put glasses on. Will you marry my mom? That's awesome. No, I'm already married. Sorry. Best support act on the tour. Great question. I liked, one of my favorite support acts was My Chemical Romance. I thought they were really great. If you want to get adopted, I'm going to have to ask my wife. People are asking to be adopted by me, but yeah, you have to talk to my wife first. Yes, I love to eat food. Yes, I've been to the Ukraine. Any chance to mix some old concerts for future release? That's a great question. There was some talk of us, prior to me working with Linkin Park, they did record some shows. And deep within the vault somewhere, there are some multi-track versions of some of those shows. And my partner and I, Dylan, and I were going to be tasked to mix some of those shows. And then I'm not sure what happened. It never kind of came to fruition. So if you guys want some of those older shows mixed, you know, harass management. Tell them you want those shows. Yeah, sign a petition, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. Ooh, favorite food in another country. I love French food. It's my favorite. The rich sauces and all the stuff that are in France are awesome. Love sushi too. Tacos. Duh, who doesn't like tacos? I love tacos. Come on. Thai food. Yes, Thai food. Pet Makba. I love the stuff hot. Bring it on. Is there anybody in Thailand? Thailand is awesome. Let's see. What about Russian food? I don't know a whole lot about Russian food. So, yeah. Argentinian meat, of course. Hey, I'm getting a phone call. That's funny. Watch this. This is hilarious. You're getting a phone call on LPU chat. Hi, honey. You're on LPU chat. Bye-bye. That's funny. That was my wife. She's calling, and she was just on LPU chat. I should have asked if she wanted to adopt some of you. I forgot. How do I know how to mix a certain song? That's a great question. I try to be true to how it sounds on the record. They spent a bunch of time, you know, making it sound the way they wanted to sound on the record. So the live version of that should sound as close to the record, but have impact and the sound of the crowd and all of those kind of things. So that's how I know certain things should be louder or not, is how they had it in the record. Boy, some people really want me to come to Israel. I know. All right, we're coming. Jeez. Oh, boy. What do I know about the new album? I don't know anything about the new album. So there's obviously some people that are rejoining us or coming to us after, you know, being here for a while. So the answer is I don't know anything about the new record. I'm as excited to hear it as you guys are. Do I have any advice for people that want to become a sound engineer? Great question. Yes. If you want to become a sound engineer, you should either start working at a venue that's close to you, so like an arena or whatever. You can apply for a job there, or start working for a local sound company that provides sound gear. you'll get the basics and all of those kind of things first before you get an opportunity to do any sort of mixing. But it will, it's a long road. I'm not going to lie to you. Becoming a sound engineer, I feel I am absolutely blessed and lucky to be where I am. And I happen to be in the right place at the right time to get the work that I get. So it's not an easy road, but if you want to become a sound engineer, then, you can start to work for your local sound company or start to work for your local vendor and work your way up. Do I like Disturbed? No, don't like Disturbed. Funny. Have I ever been to Portugal? Yes, many times. System of a Down, we did a production rehearsal in Portugal for a week. It was a lot of fun. Will you meet me in meet and greet? Yes. Of course, if you guys get into the LPU meet and greet, every once in a while I, stop by there and say hi. So that happens every once in a while. Have you been trolled by Shinoda 2? I have no idea what that means. What can you tell about the experience with the Kiss Symphony? That's a great question. You guys know the rock band Kiss, right? Their famous band that goes around painted faces. Anyway, I did a thing in Australia that was the Kiss Symphony. So it was a 60-piece symphony orchestra along with Kiss playing. And it was a really, really great experience. I enjoyed it very much. A lot of logistics, but it was great. Please come to meet and greet in Moscow. If I have time, I will. Do I give signatures? Yes, but I can't imagine why you would want mine. How many pairs of glasses do you have? 5. Will Project Rev be resurrected? No idea. I hope so. Meet and greet in LA? Yes, of course. What's the most beautiful place you've ever been to for a show? Wow. I did a Whitney Houston show that was inside of an old Greek auditorium, with the Greek pillars and, all of those kind of stuff from Roman times, and it was amazing. Really, really good. Come to Hong Kong. All right, well, we are. We always go to Hong Kong. Give us your Skype. No, you're not getting my Skype. You guys are funny. What is the most challenging band to mix live? Boy. It's a good question. I'm not sure. Some parts of Whitney Houston was pretty hard. Working with her was difficult. There was a lot of band members and a lot of mixing going on. So I'd say that. No, I cannot prank call Mike. You guys are funny. Call Mike. Yeah. Hold on. Let me get him on the phone. No. What computer games do you like? I'm not much of a game player. I have apps on my phone and I play Angry Birds. Actually, I do like Call of Duty, whoever wrote that. I like that a lot. Do I take pics with fans? Of course. Come on by. Say hi. Do you like cookies? Who doesn't like cookies? Pig Pop. Yeah, we're going to Pig Pop. I love it. I don't know if we're going to Pig Pop or not, but I like that festival. In case you guys don't know what Pig Pop is, it's a festival that, basically everybody there wears these pink hats. It's hilarious. Like, it's a whole crowd full of pink hats. It's pretty trippy. Of course I love children. What kind of a question is that? It's weird. Coffee or tea? Coffee. Boxers or briefs? Boxers. Bacon, of course. Festivals or headline shows? I love headline shows. Pepsi or Coke? Coke. What's my favorite movie? My favorite movie is Goodfellas. Soccer or football? I like both. But I'm an American, so football. Sorry. What about The Raid? What is The Raid? Is this a band? I don't even know who that is. I have no idea what that is. That's funny. Oh, it's a movie. Oh, it's Mike's movie. Oh, right. That's hilarious. I'm like, yeah, right. Okay, yeah, Mike did that thing. Yeah, I'm like, what is that? Yes, of course I want to go see it because Mike did it. Duh. Are you in the front of house during other shows? Not usually. I usually walk out to front of house like right before Linkin Park starts a show. So that's that. Do I like Metallica? Yeah, I think they changed the face of rock. Of course. What kind of cars do you own? That's hilarious. I own a 1996 Pontiac Grand Am that's falling apart. It's got 130,000 miles on it. Julian K. Of course I like Julian K. All those guys that were in Dead by Sunrise are awesome. Ryan and Amir, and those guys are really, really cool. Good friends of Chester and great guys. Do I still buy CDs? No, I do not buy CDs. I download all my music. What is my favorite Linkin Park song? Hard to say. Like Paper Cut. Breaking the Habit. It's one of my favorites. What's my favorite front of house mixing desk? I use the DigiDesign Profile. You're going to love The Raid. Greatest movie ever. All right, cool. I'm looking forward to it. That's hilarious. Sorry to tweet to Mike about this Raid stuff. Now he's going to kill me. He's like, dude, you didn't even know my movie? Sorry. That's funny. I love The Walking Dead. I watch that show all the time. What was the first equipment you bought? Jeez, that would be a long time ago. A lot of analog equipment. I bought a bunch of tube compressors. I bought a Uri 1176. That was probably the very first thing that I ever bought. Walking Dead is great. Dexter I never really got into. Game of Thrones I want to get into. All my friends tell me that I got to do that. Yes, I love cats, except my dog doesn't, so we can't have them. Can you advise us about a new flash mob? Do I have any idea? I don't know. I think those flash mob things are funny, man. I wouldn't have the first thing to tell you. Yes, I like pork chops. You guys are funny. Scars on Broadway. Yeah, I love that band. I went and mixed them at Coachella 4 years ago, I think. Come on, Pooch, show in Cyprus. Sure, why not? Hey, I'm all for it. Yes, I love my job. My job is the best. Do you like iPhones? Yes, I love iPhones. I don't drink beer. What beer do you like? Yeah, I don't drink beer. So, sing. I don't sing. I can't sing. Do you like fast food? Not really. I like real good, well-cooked food. Say banana. Banana! In-N-Out Burger. All right. If I'm going to eat fast food, I'll have In-N-Out Burger. You're funny. come on, take the band and play on my wedding. That's some funny shit. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Sorry. No, I can't dance. Can I say some word in French? No, my wife speaks French. So, yeah, sorry about that. What did Mike say on Twitter? I want to know. That's hilarious. Bullet for My Valentine, yeah. They're a good band. Do I like Obama? That's a really loaded question, isn't it? If I say yes, I'm going to get in trouble. If I say no, I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah, it's a hard question. I think that, you know, everybody has their own opinion about politics. I think that I really like Obama, and I think that he could have done a lot of things for this country, but he got lost in some politics, and yeah. So anyway, who's the best singer in the world? Wow, tough question. I don't know if you saw recently, the Artist Direct released, you know, the top 10 best singers in the world, and 2 singers that were on there that I work for. One was Miles Kennedy, and the other one was Chester. So I would say it's a close race between those 2 for being the best singer in the world, in my opinion. Just looking at different questions here, trying to pick good ones for you. What do I think about the Prodigy? I love the Prodigy. They're awesome. Yes, I'm happy, of course. How could I not be happy? Macintosh is my no PCs. I don't like PCs. Macintosh. No, I don't like Nickelback. Yes, I like Coldplay. Oh, you guys are funny. Adopt you. Again, who wants to be adopted? No, I don't have any children. All right, you guys are funny. Hey, listen, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes that I've been on here. I need to go do some stuff. I really appreciate this. It's been a lot of fun, and we need to do it again. But please come by front of house on any of the shows that you go to. Stop by and say hi and say, hey, you know, I'm in the LPU and I saw you on that chat or whatever, and we'll talk for a few minutes, all right? So have a great day, and I hope you guys had fun doing this, because I sure did. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.